Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome for another day of Grateful, the Grateful series I'm doing with MK, and today we are doing Grateful for Community. And I had a bit of a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do with this one because I live in a large city. And so community is not the same here as like maybe in MK's area. They're in a very small town and people kind of band together during hard times. And here there is none of that. And so I kind of had to think a little outside the box. And I came up with that I am really thankful for the YouTube community. And I know that sounds really weird, but not just YouTube, but the scrapbooking community, really. So what I did was I took a list of my subscribers, and I don't have everybody on there because if your profile's not public, I don't have access to that. I can't see if you're subscribed or not. But the ones that were visible, I took a list, and that is what that background paper is. All that text on there, it's just everybody's names. And I really am grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for not just the subscribers, but anybody who watches. I'm also super grateful for the friends that I've made through YouTube. A lot of the people that I do collaborations with, I know in real life, or I talk to them maybe virtually, like through Zoom or Messenger. We chat frequently. Some of them I actually know in person. And so I just feel really grateful for this community, and especially over the last couple years with COVID and everything, when I couldn't get together with my regular scrapbooking local friends, the online community has just been amazing. And so yeah, shout out to everybody out there who watches and who participates, who comments. Even if you don't comment, just the fact that you watch, that you're inspired. The whole reason I do this is not for the likes. It's not for the subscribers. It's because I really just want to inspire you guys to create and to get your stories documented. And so the fact that people comment and tell me that they are inspired, that is just warms my heart to no end. And so that is what I am documenting today. So I took that Heidi Swap stencil, which is super old, and I just used the Prize Ribbon Distress ink, just the regular Distress ink, not the oxide, and I just put it through the stencil. Just to give a little bit of color, I thought the blue worked well. There's a lot of blue on the photo. The photo is a screenshot of my channel's homepage of videos. When I go to my channel, that's what it looks like. And then I am using this stamp set. I want to say it's from, I don't know that it's from Prima. I know Prima makes a set like this where you can snap them together and create words, but I don't know that this is actually the Prima one. I think that one, theirs is, I think, turquoise or something like that. So I'm not sure where I got this set, but I've had it for quite some time. And it allows you to just snap the letters together and create words. And so I'm making the words that I really want to emphasize really large, but this is where my journaling is going. And so I'm going to show you some of that, but I don't show you all of it. But I do make the words subscriber, community, collaborators. Some of my subscribers are friends, some are family. So all of those words I made large. And then I realized that having all of that text written really kind of conflicted with the background because it's all text as well. So I'm going to put it behind my photo, but I'm going to use a flip flap. And I did this the other day on a layout, and so I'm doing it again. But this time it's a 4x6, so I'm going to have to trim my photo down and the background down a bit. But what I want it to do is when I open up the flip flap, I want the text to be on the reverse side of the photo, so you can still read all of the names of people who are subscribed. Now, I'm not putting a lot of embellishments on this because I don't want to cover up. I want to leave as many names visible as possible, but I do have to cover up some because I'm going to create this title. And I'm creating the title from a stamp set from Jen Scow, and it's from 2019, and it's called Adorn It. And it's not available anymore that I know of, but it is one of my favorite stamp sets. I don't use it a ton, but I do use it periodically, and it is one that I go to quite frequently. And I am using my Catherine Pooler ink in Sugared Lavender to create this purpley kind of a color to go with that blue. And you're going to see that in just a few moments here. What I'm doing there is I'm just figuring out the spacing for the word community, because I have to leave a space for an M, because there is only one letter of each in this stamp set. So community has two M's, so I had to kind of like space it out to make sure that I had enough space for it. And I make it work. It's not a problem. I could have pulled out my stamping platform, but I actually am a little bit more confident in using my acrylic block on my desk versus my stamping platform, especially for words, just because I think my desk has a little bit, because I have a glass mat on top that has like foam legs, not legs, but feet on it. I feel like it kind of has a little bit of give to it, and so my stamping platform sometimes doesn't always get a great impression unless I take it to the floor, and then I don't get a video of it. So for your benefit, I'm just using my acrylic block, and it works out fine. And I'm really liking the way that this is coming out. I'm hoping that it's not gonna, by having the letters have those thin, really thin lines, and having some additional color, I'm hoping it stands out enough from the background. And so far, I'm really liking the way it's looking. So while I work on that title there, I will remind you that MK is also playing along. This is our series that we've been doing all month long, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for the month of November, and it is the Grateful For series. And every day we're just talking about something different that we're grateful for. And we try to think a little outside the box and not just choose the things that come to your mind when you first say, "Oh, I'm grateful for my family." But we will be tackling that subject a little bit later. But we wanted to think a little bit outside the box, not just go with the very topical, the very basic things. So, community is something that we are grateful for. And I am grateful for community in a lot of different areas. Like, I'm really grateful for the homeschooling community that we had with my kids growing up. And I am grateful for my local scrapbooking community. But I have documented those things already. So, or at least to some extent. So I wanted to kind of come up with something a little bit different, and that is one of the things that drove me to choosing the topic of, YouTube and online, my online community. So anyway, I am now just going to go ahead and make sure everything fits into that flip flap. I do realize I have to trim it down just a bit more, and then it wasn't leaving quite enough of a blue edge around it. So I'm going to peel the photo off and trim the photo down just a tiny bit, because it does have quite a bit of white border around the photo. So I have the room to trim it down. And of course, I'm having trouble getting it off of the paper there, but I eventually get it to work, and all of those areas are going to be covered up anyway, so it's not a big deal. And while I back that, I'll just remind you that the link to MK's video is down below, because I think I forgot to say that. Or the link to her channel is down below. So if you have missed anything that we have done all month long, it is in a playlist on my channel for all of my videos. And I believe she probably has a playlist as well. So go and check all of those out if you have missed anything. So now that I've got it all working and fitting in there, I am just making sure I've got it the right direction. And then that white flap will come off at some point when I get it put into a page protector. If you watched my video the other day, you will know that I do file my layouts in batches, and I don't scrapbook chronologically, so I don't know if this is going to be on the front side or the back side of a page protector. So I am not making that decision quite yet. I will just keep the flip flap with the stuff in it with the background, and I will adhere it once I know if it's going to be on the front or the back of the page when I get the surrounding pages in. Okay, so I went to some ephemera from, I want to say that's from Jen Hadfield. And so I am just going to go ahead and pop that on there. It's either from Jen Hadfield or it's from, oh, you know what? It's actually from Pink Fresh. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you do things in batches. Get things mixed up. So it is from Pink Fresh Studios, and I just pulled out some of the ephemera that is in blue, and then some that is in that same kind of a lighter shade of that sugared lavender that I'm using. And I'm really liking the way that it's looking. And I am just keeping it super simple with those little labels on the upper right and the lower left of the photo. And then I'm going to just add some hearts to kind of pull in more of the hearts in the background. And you can read all of the words through all of those blue hearts that are in the background. I am trimming down my edge because I do want to have a border all the way around the layout, and that is also going to be in that sugared lavender. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Catherine Pooler ink, and I'm just going to swipe it down the edge there to create the same color. And I really like the way that it looks. I don't do this very often. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to waste the ink, which sounds ridiculous. Because I can just buy an ink refill if I need it. But I feel like it uses a lot of ink, but it does look really good. So I do like it. I like the way that it looks, and I will probably be doing more of that in my future. So I actually am going to do it in just a few more moments on some white paper, just to bring in more of that color. And that's where I'm going to create the hearts from. I'm going to pull some dies from my die stash and some thin metal dies, and I am going to run them through the Sidekick and create some hearts. And what I was doing there was I was moving down the upper labels down a little bit because I realized when I flipped the flip flap up, that's hard to say. When I flip the flip flap up, it's going to hit those labels. So I moved it down just a bit more so that it wouldn't interfere. Okay, so I am just making some hearts here, and I'm going to put those down for some added purple. And then I do want to bring in a little bit of it to the background, but I don't want it to cover up the words. So I kind of played around with that, and I end up bringing in some really tiny hearts and scattering those on either side, just a couple. Not a lot, just a couple. I did play with the idea of having a little bit of falling hearts like right there in the corner there. And I really like the way that it looks now that I'm seeing it on screen, but I didn't end up doing that. I end up using those hearts on the sides where I am putting them now, so that it just brings in a little bit more of that color to the outer edges and kind of draws your eye across the page in a little bit more of that diagonal as the blue hearts are going in a big diagonal there. And I'm liking how that looks. And then I do go and find some purple sequins, and they are a little bit different shade of purple, but they're clear, so it works out without any issue. And you can still read the words behind them because they're clear and because the glue does dry clear. So I just put 3 in each area, and I like how that looks, and I think that finishes it off nicely. So if you are watching today, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. And always know you can leave a comment down below and I will respond. It may not be the same day or even the next day, but I do get back to you as quickly as I can. And I do appreciate all of the responses. And I love hearing about how you are inspired by my videos. I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you guys again in just a couple days. Bye-bye.